Hi, welcome to Boom, another tutorial on SiteSeeker. I think this is probably maybe the 7th or 8th time that I've tried to record this. Vimeo, who we're using as our recording software, seems to run a lot slower in what it's presenting on its screen or what it's picking up from what I am seeing on mine, and you can't follow it, or it's well behind, which is obviously incredibly frustrating. But I thought I'd give it another go. I've closed down other bits and pieces on the computer, and hopefully it is a little better in picking up what it is that I'm doing and what I'm talking about, and you can follow. About 2 hours ago, I got a phone call about can we query the land titles in a particular area, and can we carve out, say, smaller land titles of a private ownership using SiteSeeker? And the answer, of course, is yes. And I thought it would be a good tutorial to demonstrate what it is that I quickly did to query or set up the queries correctly in SiteSeeker, so that we returned what it was that we were asked to provide. So basically, the middle of the screen is the locality. It's an industrial estate, and they were interested in the land titles and the ownership within this area. But to make it clearer and to remove a great deal of the smaller land titles, which are essentially private, the periphery here is residential, we set up a separate constraint group that was looking at private ownership at a larger or a smaller acreage. And the reason we did that was because we wanted to carve these ones out, but we also wanted to look in the middle of the screen in the industrial section for any private ownership of a larger size. So we'll give this a go, and we'll see if it is a decent recording, one that we can use. So 0 to 10 acres, we will just increase that up to 20, and I'm using my mouse for that, but we could also use the keyboard. Class of title is one of freehold. That's a default selection, so we'll keep that. Ownership, we will select UK company and overseas company. We'll set up a new constraint group for private, because what we're going to do is we're going to set the site area between, let's say, 2 and 20 acres. So we'll go into site area. Hopefully this is being recorded successfully. Here I'll use the keyboard this time. We'll add another constraint layer. This time we'll do class of title. Again, we'll just select freehold, and we will add one more constraint layer as well, and this time it will be ownership, and we'll do private. So what we're doing, we're asking in the initial query for 0 to 20, because we're picking up UK companies, and naturally that'll carve out the vast majority of the periphery residential land titles. And we're setting up a second query to carve out the private freehold ownership, but we've increased it to 2 acres, or between 2 acres and 20, to carve out the vast majority of the periphery. So if I was to run this now by deploying SiteSeeker, you'll notice that it returns no land titles. So I'll click SiteSeeker, and there it is, no land titles returned. The reason for that is that it's asking for land titles that are both UK company or overseas company and private, and there is none. There are none. There never will be. They're either or. So what we need to do is we need to change this and query to an or query. And when we run that again, we will receive the land titles essentially in the middle of the monitor here, which are the larger ones, and the vast majority of the smaller land titles are excluded. What we can do is add in some visualization to show that a little bit better. We'll select ownership, and the teal is company, UK company, purple is overseas registered company, and the yellow are the larger private ownership within that area. So we've got 545 that are returning, and that is essentially in that area. Like you can, or you were, with the original land titles that have been removed, you can write